everyone, I'm Evelyn Tan, an influencer in quality engineering, to bring you another lessons on how to apply quality engineering tools and concepts to be proactive in achieving consistently good quality products. So, let's get started.
In today's lesson, we are going to learn about creative problem solving, which is part of the quality problem solving video series. Please do check out the other videos that is in the quality problem solving, that is define problem and also critical thinking in problem solving. I have already put the link below which you can click on. When a conventional approach of problem-solving fails, we will need to find a more innovative approach, which is to think outside of a box. There are a few creative approaches that we will go through in these slides. From the approach of an artist, where there is original thinking of creating something, and a point guide which you create through action and empathy. A hacker means that you will create through a divergent thinking of how to break the system. That means a hacker is quite creative. They will normally use some kind of a techniques, unconventional techniques, to break or hack into your system. And also, as engineers, is creativity through problem solving and fixing things. As an architect, we will design, they will design buildings and design and build systems. And from geek's perspective, is creativity through experimentations and analysis. Like geeks likes to run A/B experimentation in digital world, and from astronauts, you will have creativity through curiosity and exploration. So, what is your creative approach? I will leave that up to you to discover. In order to be creative, we will need to separate our brains or our mind into divergent and convergent thinking. So let's go through what is divergent and also convergent. Divergent is more creative in the sense that they will generate idea endlessly, free flow, and also seek a diverse point of view and suspend judgment whether the idea will work or not. Whereas convergent is more realistic, that you give the correct answer, yes or no, and sorting partition or organize ideas into different teams, different category, and summarizing all the key points and decide what points should be used and exercising the judgment on the point that is to be used. Let's go through the creative problem solving guideline. The first is balance divergent with convergent. Means that you start with divergent and to come up with a free flow of idea without judgment, and followed by the convergent of evaluating and organizing all those ideas. Second is frame problem as open-ended questions with multiple possibilities. So each of these open-ended questions will generate further ideas, such as the example of first question will only have one right answer. 5 times 5 is equals to 10. This question, the second question should have multiple possibilities of what are the two numbers to add up become 10. So the answer could be the same, which is 10, but the question is framed differently to unlock a range of possible solutions. The third one will be suspend judgment, where in early stage of brainstorming, we must hold back criticism of ideas that do not work. So later on, we will set appropriate time to analyze it. So defer judgment is actually not the same as no judgment. It's just that it's not the time yet to have judgment. And finally, focus on yes rather than no or but. That means no negative language, which allow expansion and continuation. There are also 4 stages in creative problem solving, which starts with clarifications, ideate, develop, and finally implement. We shall go through them one by one. So in clarify is actually same as the 7 steps, where first of all you have to define the problem or clarify the problem using some kind of a questioning techniques, either the whys or the 4 W's and 1 H, such as who else is involved or who found the problem, what is the problem, or the description of the problem or your influence on the situation, and when did it happen or become a challenge, and why this situation become a challenge, and how does the challenges or the problem makes you feel. Next is ideate. Ideate is more like creative process of generating and developing and also communicating new ideas. So in order to do this, we must form the idea through a mind like a children, because our mind tends to be like filing cabinets of using what was done before, and this will inhibit creativity. And finally, we will need to communicate new ideas. And the third one is developed. So this stage is about formulating solutions or action plans, focusing on all the possible options and come up with solutions. Analyze those potential solutions to meet your needs and decide if you can implement them successfully. This is when we use the judgment to check whether is it possible or realistic to implement, and which idea can be enhanced. And the next steps is that now that what we see ourselves doing in the future. The last step is on implementation, where we formulate a plan to make the solution into reality by a list of action plans. And once we have that, we will need to identify resources, execute the action plan, and also communicate plans to all stakeholders and management to get the support, ensure that they understand, accept it, and finally get the support to implement it accordingly. So this is an example of application of creative problem solving. There is customers' complaint on magnetic storage drive which unable to eject this tape. So the situation is that nobody can really find a root cause between the four walls of a manufacturing entity. That means the four walls of manufacturing is really a box. So we have to really think outside of a box and look at beyond the manufacturing entity. Is it the logistic or the transportation or the distribution or customers could have caused this problem? And eventually, through a thorough investigation, imagination, and also brainstorming of trying to understand customers' usage environment, it was found that this customer has used very strong radio frequency emitting devices that have caused the sensor to be malfunction. Therefore, the tapes cannot be ejected. So sometimes we really have to apply creative problem solving within the critical thinking steps in order to solve the problem. Just to recap, what we have learned is that sometimes conventional thinking can really leave us wondering what is happening and do not have a solution that really address the problem. And we will need that creative thinking to experience the aha moment, okay? And separate Divergent, which is more creative part of free-flowing ideas, from convergent thinkings of stopping the idea from coming up, because we tend to judge and organize the idea and learn how to use these both divergent and convergent parts that is in our brain. So the creative problem solving model is really a perfect tool to achieve this kind of separation of divergent and convergent thinking.
Do give me a thumbs up if you like and have benefited from today's video, which is especially prepared for you to hack into the key areas to achieve good results. Please do subscribe to this channel to get notified on the future video, and appreciate if you can leave a comment on what you would like to learn. I would also appreciate if you can share this channel with all your friends. Thank you, and see you in my next lesson. Bye!